Have you ever nicked your ball sack? Ow! Manscaped's Lawnmower 2.0 was specifically designed to make manscaping easy. I'm talking butt, balls, body. Featuring skin-safe technology, this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. 100% waterproof and shock resistant. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Lawnmower 2.0. And for a limited time, get free shipping and a free Shed travel bag.
Well, news broke on Thursday before the Patriots' third preseason game that Patrick Chung had been indicted on possession of cocaine charges. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. Guys, back in late June, apparently there was an incident where Patrick Chung's residency in Meredith, New Hampshire was entered by the police after a call came in for breaking and entering where they found cocaine, and he was later charged for possession. First initial reactions when you heard this news today?
How bad is this? You know, there's a difference between them, obviously you don't want anybody to be in this situation, but there's a difference between them finding some cocaine residue on a table and them finding, you know, Tony Montana style piles all over his place. Now, in New Hampshire, when it comes to the criminal penalty, it does not make a difference in terms of how much he had. Is this just a guy who was having a fun weekend, or is this a guy that, you know, is part of some bigger thing and is maybe running cocaine? Is there a ring involved? Things like that. We've heard about that recently with athletes. So that was the first thing for me is, okay, he's clearly involved in this. How involved is he?
Yeah, I think that on a human level too, I mean, not that cocaine is, you know, it's the worst drug in the world or anything like that, but what's going on with Patrick Chung personally, right? What's going on with the human being? We talk about this a whole lot with Josh Gordon all the time of what's going on with Gordon. We're all so consumed by football and we want him to play football for the Patriots this year. Obviously, Patrick Chung is a really important player on the Pats, but overall, I think my first reaction, along with how bad it was, like Alex's was let's see what's going on with Patrick Chung, because that might have a bigger effect on his, you know, long-term status with the Patriots than anything else.
And you assume Bill Belichick is a pretty good judge of character, and Chung is captain of this team. And I was talking to Jerron Harmon in the locker room after the Patriots' third preseason game, and when he was asked about this, he was, listen, Pat's a great guy, an amazing leader, and an even better father. So obviously, this isn't affecting him to the point where the guys in the locker room are noticing that something's off with Chung, so maybe a fluky incident. But when we talk about now team discipline, because the league can't discipline him until the legal proceedings play out, which won't happen until next spring. But the team can discipline Chung. Do you think they will?
I don't, honestly, because this is, like you just said, has kind of been a team captain and a model citizen. And I think that the rules are a little bit more lax on recreational drugs now than maybe they were in this league 20, 30 years ago. But in terms of the NFL, I think what's interesting is that this is going to go under the substance abuse policy. And because Chung was indicted, he actually is facing up to a 4-game suspension. If he was just flagged for testing positive for drug use, he would be a first-time offender and not subject to a suspension. So actually the legal side of it and the cops getting involved in the indictment is hurting Patrick Chung in this case, and we don't even know if Patrick Chung was the one that was using the drug. So I think that that's a really interesting element of this, is that he will be facing a 4-game suspension when that time does come.
And with the jury selection not even scheduled till March, that won't be an issue this year. But you talk about the possible team punishment. You go back to what happened with Jerron Harmon last year in the offseason, right, when he got busted for trying to bring marijuana across an international border, bring it through customs, and there wasn't much of a punishment there, because if you go into the Patriot way, the whole idea, the whole thing Bill Belichick preaches is whatever you do out there, whatever you do on your own time, you do on your own time as long as it does not affect what you do here. Now, if Patrick Chung was showing up late, showing up high to meetings, that kind of thing, if he was bringing that stuff into the stadium, had it in his locker, that's another issue, and you're probably talking about a team punishment. But like you said, everything we've heard from the team, both before this incident and after, he's on time at every meeting. He shows up. He's accountable. He's a leader. He's got his head on straight. And so you know what? If he was doing it on his own time, I think, you know, Bill will say, all right, you did it on your own time. You didn't bring it in here. Cut it out, because now it is an issue for them here if he faces a suspension from the league. But, you know, will he get maybe a ceremonial 1/2 suspension, similar to what, not to compare the two, but similar to kind of what Wes Welker saw for the Footgate incident, right, when he missed the first drive of that game? Will he get something ceremonial? maybe gets his captainship revoked, maybe, but I don't think there's any major penalty coming from the Patriots to Patrick Chung for this, as we know it right now. As we know it recording it the night of the third preseason game, we know how these stories can evolve, and if we find out another angle to this that wasn't there, maybe he's connected with some other people, maybe there was other things in the house besides cocaine, that can change.
Right.
But given the information we have right now, I think he's more or less in the clear outside of, very bad public blemish.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, like Sierra, like you said, I think if I had to pull the locker room and figure out a guy that would get busted for cocaine charges, Patrick Chung would not be very high on the list.
No.
Like, I would never have guessed Patrick Chung because he is a team captain. He's been very accountable his entire career. It just doesn't seem like the guy. I know that he's a big family man, too. So I think there's a lot more to this story that we might never find out about whose drugs that actually was and what was actually going on in that Meredith house. Because something tells me that I don't know if Patrick Chung was directly involved.
This Foxborough Report is brought to you by betonline.ag. Head to clnsmedia.com/win. Enter promo code CLNS50 to receive your welcome bonus. For follow-ups on the Patrick Chung situation, head to our website at clnsmedia.com. And for all of our Patriots preseason coverage, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well at CLNS Media.